Howdy all you delicious people, I'm here today to talk about Temu vertically. I wanted to change a pace, I wanted to do a different video, and there are people that are going on and they're trying to find certain items like Power Ranger stuff, cosplay items because they like movies and shows, and they want to find it for a pretty decent price. And I'm going to go on it and be able to, through Temu, help you find these things, as well as also if you go into Temu, I will go on uh, and very much show awesome things that I've bought in the time of which that I've done Temu in, and kind of compare and contrast here. So, firstly, the cautionary tale and some things that I've had problems with. So, firstly, as you can see, this whole thing is just up and down white screen. For me, I go on and I deal with the problem with my eyes where if I stare at a white screen for too long, I get migraines. You may go on, you might get that yourself. So I go on and I get a pair of glasses that are be blue light things and they kind of knock this down. But also, I had gone on to already complain at customer service that's like, hey man, like you have no dark theme for your app. Or if I've adjusted it to a dark theme and this is dark theme. Nice. So I've gone on to complain about that. I don't really know if they're really going to do anything about that in the future, but here's where I am with that first cautionary tale of like, you're going to get just a whole lot of white all the time. So, feasibly, if you want to go on and knock out all this white, then by all means, either get some blue light glasses or feasibly go on and maybe even dim down your device and kind of cut down the amount of like lighting that you're getting from this app to your eyes. Anyways, but I'm sure a number of just common websites and apps and whatever do the same thing. But anyways, but this is an app that's different. If you go to Walmart or Target, it's a .com thing. Two different things. So, but at least for Walmart and Target, you can go on and search for a thing, find it a lot quicker than you could on Temu. Temu, it seems that you really have to trick this thing into going on and getting exactly what you want. And that's horrible. You really have to go on and really search through this app to then have it more consistently give you a better recommended thing. I'm to the point now where I do go on and I thumb through the kind of recommended stuff that it always gives me because I'm like, okay, great. This actually matches up what I normally would go on and try to shop for instead of when I started Temu, where it just kind of gives me a bunch of just random, non-gender specific things that don't connect to me whatsoever, and it's just whatever the hell. And I'm like, wow, this sucks. So, first off, another kind of cautionary tale here. If you're to go on and eventually get a shirt, like say looking at this one very specifically, it's a very random example, but regardless, here's where I'm going to go on and I'm going to explain things to you. You may come to find that the picture does not match with the item you're going to receive. It's true. I had gone on and gotten this Hellraiser puzzle box, and the picture does not have these black lines that you see here and throughout the puzzle piece. It doesn't show that when eventually like the obvious like lines that you're seeing here doesn't in the picture match that at all. But then I get the side, I'm like, yeah, it does match the picture. But regardless, like I knew that the puzzle box was to come apart, so yeah, not quite sure why this item doesn't match the picture, but regardless, I did not go on and return this because I'm like, well, like if I'm to go on and get anything else, like at least this I know that the size looks pretty accurate at least, and that if anything, like I could go on and get a worse quality item if I am to go on and try this again. So I'm just gonna stick with this. That's fine. Also, I had gone on to get this Dino Thunder shirt for those of you who are Power Ranger fans. And you can see here where you can obviously through the through the shine of this, you can see the cloth, and then you can see the pattern. And then eventually, when I go and I take a picture of it, you can obviously see the black shine. I'm like, I don't like that. But like, that is like one example about how more than likely some of these shirts can come off with not exactly matching the picture, but also could come off as like, okay, this might be what you're getting, or there is another shirt here that is to actually represent this even better. Nope, that is not it. Here we go. Rugrats. This shirt that I'd gotten from, again, Temu. This shirt goes on and does have the pattern, and then when you see the black right here, that's cloth. So that's a better quality. I'm assuming that this, what you see here, is probably going to end up being what you're going to see here. So, like, I'm assuming that the quality is going to match this picture, but then again, who's to know? Roll the dice. I could be completely wrong about this picture matching that kind of. I have no idea, because if anything, it's a roll of the dice. So, and that also is to be the thing of like, well, what are you getting? And you being unsure could make you just fearful of getting any item, or just getting it and realizing, like, I don't know if I'm 100% won over by it. But anyways, so that's another cautionary thing. Other than that, yeah, like besides when you go into farmland, it'll probably take you months if you want to go through the free route to obtain a item or two. And I mean like almost half a year, maybe more, to try to get this to get these items. And that's one thing no one tells you. They say, oh yeah, here's how to do the process, but they don't tell you how long it's going to take, because why would they do that? Because it's different for everybody. It depends on the price of item that you try to get. But say if you're going to go on and you're going to get like a $6 to $20 item, it's going to take quite a bit of months and time to eventually accumulate this item. But eventually, most of the time, or even I probably couldn't guarantee you most of the time. Not everything that you're going to try and get in farmland is always going to be in stock by the time that you are to obtain it. So a lot of times they go on and they give you credit instead, and then you can go on and get an item that is to look like the exact same item anyways, and maybe even get it for cheaper than what you were to originally try to get through farmland. And huzzah huzzah this day, because for some odd reason they don't recommend you the item that looks exactly like the item you were going to try to get, and it just discontinued for whatever thing. But if anything, you can go on and just search for the item again, and it's there. So that's I think another problem with Temu, because I've landed onto that a plethora of different times, where I'll find that the item that I farmed for eventually goes on and gets out of stock, and then I'm like, well, okay, like, how, like, I'll either go on and buy a completely different item, or I'll go on and I'll just continue to search for it again and again and again, and like kind of vague it up, or try to figure it, and then eventually I'll find it again. It's like, why didn't they just recommend me that? It's the same thing. And then I buy that, and I'm like, cool, like, I got the item any goddamn ways. So that's great that I'm able to just find a way of getting that at least. And then sometimes I even would get it for cheaper than the initial credit that I was to be given for other item. So let's now go on and let's talk about the search terms. For those of you looking for Power Ranger stuff, for those of you looking for movie and show like things, what should you use as search terms? Firstly, for Power Ranger specific items, I would use the word Sentai or even use the words Mighty Morphing with a G than Power Rangers. That seems like you're going to go on and specifically find one season of things, but if anything, it's very much more random, and you'll find an assortment of just Power Ranger stuff that has that title on it. Also, searching for Power Rangers, like you may get a limited assortment of items, or also if you use the word Sentai and Power Rangers, you get a certain number of items. Like every time you're to go on and seemingly almost search the same thing, you could get different answers every time. It's weird. But anyways, that's what I recommend for people going on and finding Power Ranger stuff. I had found this Dino Thunder shirt by doing that. I had found this this shirt here by doing that. I had found Power Ranger stuff eventually by doing that, and that was to go on and cover quite a bit of seasons. And oh, also this here, this is a boy shirt, boy sizing. Look at this. It says 13, 14. I fit in this, and I am a little bit over 200 pounds, and this fits me at the biggest size. It fits me well, so I'm like, great. Coolio, like that is nice to be able to go on and find something that technically fits me. When honestly looking at this now, I'm realizing that some of the characters here have the exact same helmets. But if anything, when you look at the rest of the picture, yeah, you don't really notice much. So that's completely fine. If anything, that's a little detail that, like everything else about the picture looks pretty decent about it, so I'm fine with that. So, going on after Sentai, if you're just looking for movie and show stuff in general, I first go on and I found stuff like armored shirts through a search engine. And you will go on and you'll find like armored stuff, like this samurai shirt here, this samurai. Eventually you'll go on and you'll find stuff like this through here. But also, eventually it'll just kick into through armored shirts, go on and find some costume stuff also, some superhero stuff, some show things, and things of that nature. You go on and also, I recommend going through pattern shirts, and eventually you'll go on to come to find that there is a number of things that connect to a lot of movies and shows, and I'll show a lot of this here, this browser history stuff that will showcase a lot of stuff that I found in the time of which I've been here. There's some stuff that is kind of disappointing to me because I could have found a better assortment of items to showcase to you, but I kind of waited too long, and a lot of things ended up just getting discontinued, or eventually ended up just I have to find them again, or I have to search for them again, because that's always what happens. I had gone on and found a shirt at one point that looked just like the first Blade movie. I'm like, yeah, dope! like that's what I wanted to showcase on here, but by the time that I got on here, it's discontinued now. So I'm like, great. Well, I can't show that at all. Um, Off and on, there to be like superhero compression shirts that are on here and then they disappear because they get sold so quickly. Uh, there's some stuff here that I am going to go on and be able to showcase to you, but also, uh, if you're looking through to find eventually a superhero thing that you really do like on here, more than likely you probably should go on and buy it as quickly as possible because otherwise you're not going to be able to get it. I have been very lucky on Temu, but also there are some times where I had to go on and just be forced to get certain things because it's like, well, like this wasn't my exactly first off choice, but eventually, like the further and further, also I went into Temu. Like the more stuff I found while I was searching through it, and the better uh, things got. And it's like cool. Like I can find a lot of these things that are very much like first round draft picks instead of like the 31st or whatever drawn pick of like, well, I guess I just gotta find this now, or I guess I could just buy this now, um, just because like it's the only thing that kind of fits um, the credit standards of which I have or whatever. So credit meaning whatever I get from Temu. So that's our recommendation things that are going to give to you. Other than that, I would go on and recommend just say the word costume shirts. That might come up with something. I've been looking through like optical illusion shirts because that look kind of fun. I say like retro shirts because I like to go on and try to find like Nickelodeon logos, like the old schools or the Blockbuster logos. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for like the old fashioned Stevie TV static shirts because those look really cool. I'm looking for just shows and stuff in general on here, and so that are either to be kind of the newer content or old fashioned. So, uh, if anything, if there is to be a specific search that you are to go into Temu on and you find a lot of stuff that is be memorabilia based or is to go on and be cosplay or what, like let me know in the comments below. Like if anything, uh there's a lot of times where I think links end up just getting held for me to review, but if you have a link specifically for a item, then I may go on and click into it and look into the link. But if you're gonna go on and give me a link for farmland or some other thing, I'm not gonna go into any of those. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna bother. So don't send me any of the links to some kind of weird, goofy uh, farmland thing, or don't send me anything where you're just trying to cut costs of something because I'm not going to bother going in any of those. Don't waste my time. And also, I know what the Temu links look like, so just try to eventually realize that a lot of these links will be held for review. So, because I just don't like to just throw any uh, buddy giving links on here. But again, make sure that they're item things, not anything else, because I won't look at anything else. So, and then again, they'll be held for review. So, let's now go through just these items, go through my browsing history. Some of this, most of this I had gone on and just found on here today and plopped on here. So, a lot of this stuff is going to be fresh and a lot of this stuff is going to be seemingly available because I just went through and found it all today. So, if any of this stuff eventually goes on and gets discontinued, which I'm sure in a number of days will probably, a lot of this stuff will have disappeared. So this may go on and be just a one-off thing, and maybe from time to time, if this continues to go well, as far as me just talking about Temu, maybe I'll just from time to time just thumb through here and just show some more stuff of either browser history or just some new stuff that I found and just want to showcase to you. None of the stuff of which that I'm showing on here is going to be stuff that I am to try to suggest anybody on the planet get for me. I'm just saying these are things that I have eyed on to eventually want to use in future thumbnails. So maybe also you'll go on, you'll find these things too, and you'll buy them for your exact self. Uh, but maybe also this may go on and help you find any of these things. So, or maybe like I can go on and help anybody find any of these things because I'll have them on my history for a brief amount of time, and maybe I'll be able to share a link to you. But again, realize this stuff is gonna be very limited time, so understand that. So let's thumb through some of my browser history, and I'll explain some of the stuff as I go of why I chose it, even though it might be boy sizes, which to me I can still fit in because this is a boy size. You guys will just be like, that's creepy and weird that you're happy that you fit in. Like, you have no idea that how far I've come from being a 1 point and over 300 pound guy to now fitting into boys' clothes. But also, uh, to get to a point now where like I can have more variety because it seems that boys' clothes has a lot more interesting designs than guys' clothes on here. So I'm like, cool, that opens up even more doors for me to hopefully be able to go on and get more interesting stuff. Like even like this thing here, I was looking at it as like, man, this is a kind of cool design. There's a huge number of helmets and Power Rangers on there. And so that kind of is to like maybe I'll use that for like a Forever Red episode, even though it does have a lot of Sentai stuff on there. I don't care. I could use it for the Forever Red episode. I could use it just for Power Ranger stuff in general, and it looks cool. Regardless of it being a boys or girls, I don't really care. As long as it could fit me, I don't care what it is. Plus, also, it could be a catch-all for a lot of the seasons that I don't have shirts for because I don't have a lot for the later seasons. Or even Alien Rangers. I don't really have much for that right now. So, with that said, uh, I may go on and get more in the future, which I'm really trying to do. I definitely have for Farmland right now. I'm waiting the wings to try to get the Black Ranger RPM shirt. There's just a thing where it just has the yellow 5 of the RPM logo, and I'm trying to get that, and I hope to eventually get that. It may be a thing that might be out of stock. I'm not sure, but regardless, I'll hopefully be able to either get that or something else Power Rangers shirt connected. So that's cool. But that's what also is kind of taking up a lot of my time to get so many Power Ranger shirts rather than anything other variety else. But the Nickelodeon thing, I'm just trying to get for retro purposes because I'm personally going on in one Farmland thing to get a Nickelodeon logo, so that I hopefully will go on and be able to obtain that. I'm hopefully going to go on in the future to get like a Blockbuster logo. I'm trying to get like a rug right now because my floor here is now to be without carpet. So I just want a rug that's like right next to my bed. And I'm trying to get one that has like a Blockbuster logo on it. Or I think I'm going to end up probably being forced to just kind of get like a. There's another one that I kind of was eyeing that was like a spider web uh, kind of carpet or rug that I'm going to get. But I wanted to get the Blockbuster one, but that seems to kind of get in and out of being sold out or discontinued or whatever. So I'm probably gonna end up going with the probably spiderweb thing because if it's being a cheaper thing and maybe if I don't get that one, then I may get the Blockbuster one. We'll figure that out when we cross that road when we get there. If that sold out, if that is out of stock by the time I finally get to grinding off of farmland, then I'll try to get the blockbuster thing, because I'm sure I'll probably be able to get it then, right? Moving on. So, Chucky. Uh, this Chucky hoodie. Eventually, this is also a farmland thing. Hopefully, I'll go on and I'll grind my way to eventually getting a Chucky hoodie, because I reviewed a lot of Chucky films. I reviewed the show. I feasibly do not care how really it's been a while since doing any number of those. Like, I've still done a lot of those projects. I feel that I'll probably go on and finally obtain a Chucky hoodie that connects with those things. And that'll be cool, because I actually like that content. I like Child's Play. And eventually, getting the hoodie will probably go on and have me eventually come back and watch the movies, or just kind of cover the rest of the series because I didn't finish it. So that could be a thing that I go on and do in the future. So that could be a fun bit of content to just do at some point. If people are really interested in Child's Play stuff, then I'll go into it. So we have Omni Man hoodie here. I think I just kind of randomly just kept finding hoodies and whatever. Uh, I am to go on and like Invincible. I like quite a bit of that show, so feasibly I'm to go on and be consistently looking at either the Omni Man hoodie, or I'm to look at also finding a cosplay shirt of like the main character, the guy who is Invincible, because I like that show. And there are some things that I kind of got bogged down by, because I just didn't have the cosplay, or didn't have something for it. Like Peacemaker was one of those where I reviewed the whole season, but it's just like all I have is like John Cena wrestling shirts, and that's all I have, and that just kind of seems stupid to me. I wanted a cosplay thing to match that, but there's nothing on Temu that perfectly is to have a Peacemaker like costume thing. It's to just kind of be like maybe a random stupid Peacemaker shirt that looks like crap. So I just haven't found a Peacemaker thing that looked cool. So I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's like a Peacemaker shirt. Let me know in the comments below if you have found anything. Maybe link something that will eventually tie to that. Like, cool. Like, I have I can hunt down a Peacemaker thing. Uh, for Temu specifically, if you're gonna go on and you're gonna give me some Amazon thing, or some other Google thing that's something somewhere, like, yeah, like I could probably have easily Googled that and found that. Like, I'm looking for specifically in Temu. So hopefully people can understand when I'm looking for stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking through it through Temu, because I can easily go on and obtain it there, rather than anywhere else. So I just recently saw Jingle All the Way, and I already had a thing that I used for that thumbnail, but also I'd found this Turbo Man hoodie. If you guys would be a fan of Jingle All the Way, or if you are to go on and like Turbo Man, then by all means, maybe you'll want to check out this hoodie and get it for yourself. I am to go on it, and even after to have gotten something for that, I'm still also kind of tempted with this hoodie. I really am. But at some point, it'll probably be like once I go on and obtain all the other things that I have to go on and definitively need, then this Turbo Man hoodie will eventually go on and probably, because like to me, like if you look at this, like yeah, it looks like Turbo Man, but also it's like do I really need this one? Like, do I really need to get this one? But anyways, next up, we have a Robin hoodie. I am to have wanted to have gone on and reviewed like Teen Titans. I reviewed the live action show Titans, and Robin is in that. So there's a lot of reasons to want to get a Robin hoodie. I have Nightwing shirts and I have Nightwing stuff. So feasibly, that's kind of what I leaned into when I did Titans. Is those things, but also I always wanted to get like I kind of want to jokingly just kind of get Batman or Batman Batman or Robin things from Batman 66. I want to get that kind of goofy Robin stuff from 60 because it looks more funny, as well as also I had done at some point some Adam West animated thing. And so hopefully at some point I'll probably go on and I'll maybe find that randomly on Temu somewhere and maybe I'll get that. But I'm eventually looking for some Robin stuff. Maybe at some point I'll get it. But until that time, let's move on. Uh, this Green Lantern shirt. I have to go on and love a lot of comic book stuff. This specific comic book story I had read cover to cover of. Um, and I read the Rebirth stuff afterwards. So this story here is of the Green Lantern where he has on his fingers just a bunch of different Green Lantern rings. And that story is just one of the bigger stories of Green Lantern. We come to find that Green Lantern is going to turn against Oa and the Green Lanterns and go on to try and recreate the people that he's lost by using the Green Lantern power. And eventually it ends up turning him into Parallax, which, if you guys have ever seen the very first Green Lantern movie, you'll know who Parallax is. But if you haven't, then you may have just known him in the comic books. So immediately when I saw the shirt and I saw the thing that is to replicate the cover of one of those comic books, I'm like, heck yeah. That was sweet. I also want to go on and find any number of like Green Lantern shirts that are to just kind of copy the cover. There is also a lot of just lower level superhero characters that also uniquely have shirts on here. There's like Meteor Man. I don't know if it's going to be on this browsing history, but like Meteor Man, like the logo of it is on a shirt. I'm like, oh my god, like I can't find Meteor Man stuff anywhere, but I'm finding it on Temu. Oh my god, like there's a Swamp Thing shirt, there's Lobo shirts, there's Man Thing shirts, all kind of very interesting comic book characters. Eventually, at some point within here, there is a Court of Owl mask. There is to be a uh, Deathstroke mask. There's to be Slade mask if you guys watch Teen Titans. If you like Casey Jones mask. I had gotten this from Temu. If you guys like horror, I'm to eventually probably have a horror mask here. That eventually I think is in this browser history from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and eventually I had a thing to just kind of do a thing to cover the thumbnail, but like I want to do something interesting for just Killer Clowns in Outer Space. I want to do something that's just kind of cool looking, but for the means of that, it's go like I don't know what to do exactly. But anyways, but there's a lot of comic book stuff I just want to have just because I love comic book stuff. Eventually, after Christmas time, you're probably going to see a picture of me come up onto the profile of this that I've already kind of set up ahead of time. That has like a comic book shirt. I'm wearing just an assortment of all this like crazy stuff that I had found. That I'm just gonna just spam all over the place and just gonna look really goofy and weird. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, "What the is this?" and click right off of this channel altogether. But until that day comes, I'm just trying to do creative things. I'm trying to do something unique. Next off, some Star Wars shirts. Eventually, you're also going to see, I hope in this browser history, you're going to see a Star Trek shirt. Because I love Star Trek also. I always wanted to do Star Trek seasons. I love Star Trek. I've seen the movies countless times. Believe me. What does God need with a starship? And of course the Saffron Cochrane, the Nexus, any number of those Star Trek movies. I've seen a good chunk of them, and at some point I hope to review them. I just need a Star Trek thing to connect with all of those things. I hope to like just mainly just get the like a next generation one connection and do something with next generation stuff. But I eventually want to go on and find more Star Trek things through hopefully Temu, but whatever is to go on and be the means of which that I can go on and obtain these things. But uh, yeah, I definitely want to go on and get Star Wars stuff to kind of like I do have like a Yoda onesie, and that's about it. I do have a couple of shirts that just say Star Wars on it, and that's about it. So I want to go on and get more specific things that connect with certain shows, and also I want to get Star Trek stuff, which eventually you're probably gonna maybe see on here. Ben 10, this watch here, this watch. Uh, I am to be just in awe of the fact that there is a Ben 10 watch on here, regardless of its price. Because I know if I went on eBay or something somewhere, it's probably a lot cheaper. But I found a Ben 10 watch in here. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So, like I also had at one point where I would search on Temu and I'd find just actually a good amount of Ben 10 shirts. But I think they had all gotten sold out because I'm like, of course they did. And like I eventually want to go on and get the original, like if you guys remember the original Ben 10 shirt, like the black and then like the white. That's the one that I'm looking for. Like I do like the green jacket and it has the green the black 10 on it. But I really would rather go on and get like the original black and white shirt rather than the leather jackets or anything like that because one, it gets more expensive, but then two, like feasibly, I think the black and white shirt is much more iconic than any of the later stuff that goes down the road. Even though also it may end up just being like whatever I can find on Temu could end up being what eventually you might see on a Ben 10 thumbnail because I've done quite a bit of Ben 10 content in the past, but a lot of the ways that I ended up just kind of doing those thumbnails, like I liked the picture, but like what I actually just did, I just didn't like what I did. So I hope to go on and clean that up in the future to eventually have people be more interested probably in those Ben 10 videos because I at some point wanted to go on and cover a lot more of Ben 10, but it just went nowhere. I think really just because there's so many people that have probably covered it, and probably for Ben 10, you just really have to just get lucky with that one. But I liked Ben 10. I watched a lot of it. Moving on here. So this static shirt here, or this please stand by shirt, more or less. I like a lot of retro stuff. Uh, like if you put in retro shirts, you may find stuff like this. Um, I love the old fashioned like static TV things, which I've gone on to find here, but I couldn't find for this specific thing. So this was a cool shirt, but I like more of like the old fashioned staticky looking shirts. Like there's some that are actually long sleeve. I'm like, ooh, that's nice. That's cool. Um, I think when I really was to go on for a longevous amount of time on this channel, I had like the stand or please stand by logos just in the background things because to me, like it was a lot of color. It looked cool to me, and like I wanted to do something with static. And eventually that changed, and like the VHS tape thing started to become a more prominent thing that I've gone on to use, and like that was a bit of fun. Um, the Poltergeist shirt after that is just because I want to eventually find something that better suits the Poltergeist movie because I'd gone on and seen the original. And it's probably better to do this than going on and uh, doing a just weird, goofy cosplay of one of those characters. But I really like Poltergeist. If anything, there's a lot of stuff that is iconic from that, and hopefully, I'll go on and one day find a good number of also just other horror shirts that I really can connect to and gravitate to. And there was also to have me want to find like a Jaws shirt that connected to that movie, because eventually, every once in a while, I'd find a Jaws shirt, but like a lot of times, it's kind of really those get sold out quite quickly or they vanish quite quickly. Uh, there's a lot of horror masks. There's a lot of horror things that I am to go on and eventually find through here, and it's like, ooh, that's nice, like a Jason mask or a Freddy claw or a Michael Myers mask, and they're all very decently priced. They're all to be very at the low end. So that'll be cool eventually. Like I wanted to go on and eventually get a Camp Crystal Lake sign, um, but even that like is really hard to like. If eventually I put it on like farmland, eventually it'll be to a point where it gets quickly sold out or discontinued or whatever. So it's really hard to get that sign. And I'm just like, God dang it! I just want a Camp Crystal Lake sign. How hard is it? But yeah, it seems very hard to get one of those. So it's like, what the heck? Like, what do I need to do? Like, I just want that. It looks really cool. I love Friday the 13th. So hopefully one day I'll get one of those, and that will be a cool just decor thing that I have because that's what I've been wanting to get for a long time. After that, we end up just having like I honestly just like this design. I know it's from Joker. I know the laughing like it may be uneasy, it may be a weird, uncomfortable thing, but regardless, like F it. Like I just think that this design is interesting. Like all just the ha 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 is just everywhere. Um, and it's kind of cool to just have that as a whole pattern. And immediately when probably everyone thinks of that, they think of Joker, they think of Batman, whatever. Like it just looks really cool to me. But if anything, also it could probably have a lot of people being put at an uneasement. To me, also, I wear a lot of gothic stuff. I wear a lot of skull things. I wear a lot of um, stuff that would probably also like I like supernatural characters, and with that has me want to have designs that are just of supernatural nature. So really, I hope it's not to be off-putting. It's just me just being like, hey, I like a lot of cool supernatural things, and I can explain what all they are because I know what all they are because I'm to go on and really like supernatural stuff. It really appeals to me. And whenever I'm to go on and just see, like, I love tarot cards. Tarot cards as a design on a piece of clothing is really cool looking if it's done the right way, if it looks really cool. Like, that's what I've been really trying to find some cool tarot uh, card design gear, clothing, or whatever like that's what I'm wanting to try to get into. Stuff that looks like a tarot card. Um, because that's like kind of design stuff that I'm interested in. And just trying to be different and trying to have something design wise that looks really unique for me that I really like and enjoy. After this, those of you who are to go on for this tracksuit here, for those of you that are go on and like Bruce Lee movies or Kill Bill, the very first volume one, you go on, you'll find that this tracksuit is to be very similar. It is to have the mainly yellow and then the black like this thing. I'm like, yeah, this is freaking awesome. I like stuff like this. It reminds me of those movies, and also, I at one point when I was in high school, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I had gone on to just head to toe. Well, not head, but like neck to toe. I was to go on and just try to get shirts and pants that were yellow. And a lot of people can go on and find that to just be so weird. They're like, why yellow? I'm like, well, I would just tell my parents, I'm like, well, those are colors that not a lot of people wear. Yellow pants, yellow shirt, no one wears those. So I was trying to just stick out, maybe in a very weird, goofy way, but also it's like, this is unique because I'm wearing head to toe yellow. So it was just a fun, like color scheme that I was just doing, and it reminds me of that time when looking for an item like this, of me doing that and just me just having fun as a kid, just trying to be different. Also, uh, like there just be a time as a kid where I would just go on and just kind of go through these just certain design things and just kind of have a lot of fun. So, anyways, uh, this Spider-Man print that you're seeing here is to feasibly just be me. Like the later Marvel stuff, I didn't be able to get a lot of those later Marvel shirts and costume shirts that came a lot later. Anything after Marvel Infinity War, like I don't really have much shirts for. So anytime you're going on and you're seeing me in a thumbnail where anything from anything past Infinity War, I'm probably just getting it more recently. So, uh, like any number of costumish things, yeah, I'm probably getting them a lot more now. And a shirt like this is no different. There was a thing that I saw that was really awesome that it probably won't be on the browser thing here, but at all because I couldn't find it again. But if for those of you who are to go on and know that Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four, and this is during Future Fan Foundation, where Spider-Man is going on and wearing the white and black costume, and it has like a certain Spider-Man logo for Future Foundation. I had found one of those shirts on here. I'm like, oh my god, that is freaking dope. And that was one of the things I wanted to showcase on here by the time that I was to try to get to it. To showcase it now, it's not on here. It's sold out. It's one of those. So there's a long sleeve one, and then there's a short sleeve one that I eventually found. Normally, again, I like the longer sleeve ones, but beggars can't be choosers. So I hope to obtain, hopefully, a future Foundation Spider-Man shirt because that looks just awesome. That is like, yeah, I can get that on here. Cool. Next up, this shirt will probably look very unfamiliar to a number of people. Unless you are to like a certain Dracula movie. I had gone in at one point reviewed Dracula Untold, and this shirt, armor wise, is to match identically Dracula from Dracula Untold. Regardless of how anybody feels about Dracula Untold, I don't care. I'm going to eventually probably get this shirt because eventually I think that this shirt will go on and help me just kind of do other Dracula content at some point. Plus, also, it's really hard for me to go on and actually find Dracula stuff on here. So I saw this and like, oh my god, I hope I can get this at some point in the future. The next thing is, of course, Witcher. Like, I've been finding this for The Witcher, and I've gone on done a plethora of seasons of The Witcher, and at some point, I'll go on and I'll hopefully obtain this shirt. This shirt, again, I love Green Lantern comic books. This is specifically tied to the Green Lantern, Green Arrow thing, where eventually it was all about drugs and key issues there. Next, another Power Ranger shirt, Mighty Morphin. Obviously, a design that actually just looks cool to me and actually matches what it looks like on the show. So maybe a thing I'll go on and pick up. But if anything, I also have a slew of Mighty Morphin stuff already. So that'll be a thing. Blade, this shirt here, the only reason why I'm having this shirt on here is because of just me talking before about how I had a shirt that actually looked like a Blade costume shirt, but now it's gone. It's sold out. So eventually, like this is the shirt of which that Wesley is wearing on this shirt. That's the similar design that was to be on that shirt, but now it's sold out or something. It's discontinued. I'll have to find it again. Hopefully, I'll go and I'll do that and be able to get a Blade shirt. That'd be cool. But probably not one that looks like this because I don't like these specific kind of shirts. But if anything, it's just to kind of showcase. Mario shirt. Like I love Mario. I have like a Mario hat. I have like the original Mario video game shirt that looks really cool to me. So I have even a Mario like little plushie thing. So yeah, like to get something that actually looks like the Mario video game to wear, that looked cool. And yeah, so more Power Ranger shirts. These are actually shirts that I. This one actually just looks like a really cool design to me. um, with it having all the Mighty Morphin just things there, even Alpha. I was like, wow, that actually looks like a really cool design. This shirt I already have. I probably had gotten it not as cheap as this price is right now, but regardless, I'm like, I need to get the shirt, regardless of its price, which I'm sure will go cheaper by the time I get it. And sure enough, but I got one of those. It's somewhere in here. Really, the design matches up perfectly to the shirt. It worked. I have it cosplayed on a number of different thumbnails, so you can see it. This shirt I had gotten also. This shirt goes on and is to look more like uh, the this thing where you can obviously see that the pattern was ironed on. And you could see a lot of the black in the shirt, so be worried that this design won't look exactly like how this picture is, because you'll go on, you'll definitely see the black, and even like the coloring of the shirt is kind of a little bit off, but not so off that it looks like a completely different thing. Like it's just a little bit lighter than this actual color, just slightly tweaking lighter. But if anything, a cool shirt. This is an Alpha shirt. I honestly wanted to find. There's this thing online where I found, whereas on eBay for a brief time, there was an Alpha hoodie and pants, and it was actually to look like Alpha 5. And I was like, oh my god, like, hopefully I can go on, I can get this for like Christmas or something like that. Because I was tempted into getting something like this, but eventually it was no longer on eBay, so I'm like, I can't trust it anywhere else. So I just kind of just like, nah, let's not do that. So eventually I'm kind of looking to find Alpha 5 like shirts and stuff to eventually just have something Alpha related. And this came up on here, so I'm like, cool, I can find this. Dino Charge. This shirt here, even if it says Dino Charge on here, you would think that you could just search Dino Charge and immediately this comes up. Not for me. So I'm looking for Dino Charge shirts because, in all actuality, I may even have a Dino Charge shirt on a thumbnail, but like that was to actually been just photoshopped. There are certain Power Ranger shirts that I didn't have stuff for the season, so I just photoshopped it. And eventually I'm going back and I'm going to change that later. As soon as I get the shirts, I'm going to go on it and I'm going to change those shirts so that way I have the proper shirts instead of just photoshopping things, because I didn't like that and I hated that. And like there are very few times now where I go on and I Photoshop things. More than likely, a lot of the times it's just to change the color of something. It's not to add um, add clothing in. A lot of times, it's not to. If anything, maybe my like change the color of my skin or something like it's a lot of color things. It's not to add um much of things, unless it's to be of a monster, or unless it's like, then I'll go on and I'll try to like uh I'll try to do some kind of, but like feasibly I'm trying as less as possible to do much of Photoshop. I know AI exists, whatever with that, but I'm trying as best as possible to try to make the photos as real as they can be, for most of these. Every once in a while, it just comes down to adjusting and tweaking colors, but most of the time, it's other than that, it's just uh, to try to stop as much photoshopping as I probably had done when I had early started this, when I really had not much of anything. So there goes that eventually in the future. So Samurai shirt, I had gone on to already obtain this, so I'm not going to go on and talk about it. I love armored shirts. I'm going to eventually find time period shirts. A lot of these things eventually will be really cool when eventually I find them. And I'm not quite sure exactly what time periods I'm really interested in right now. I'm just trying to find anything. I think a lot of times I'll probably have to find like army shirts that are from probably time periods just to fit certain movies and certain shows and certain things. So I'm probably going to be looking for that. But if anything, I'm trying to just try to pick and choose certain things eventually. This Star Trek onesie, here we go. Oh, right next to one another, some Star Trek shirts. So I'm looking for a Star Trek, either it be Next Generation or just Star Trek stuff in general that are to be available on Temu. I know that there is some costume stuff that is on Amazon's and stuff like that, but like, it kind of has to fit budget means. Uh, this onesie looks really cool, but I'll probably end up just going in and eventually getting the shirt that's further down there. Uh, Feasibly, I know that the other shirt kind of fits somewhat of next gen Voyager and some Deep Space Nine stuff, and then eventually I'll have to go on and find more Star Trek stuff that are to fit other seasons. But hopefully I'll go on it and I'll be able to get that. That'll those shirts look. I was surprised finding these things. So if you are a Star Trek fan, and if you need links to either the onesie or the T-shirt, let me know in the comments below. I'll try to hopefully get those to you, so you can obtain some Star Trek stuff that are at a pretty decent price compared to obviously stuff on Amazon and stuff like that. Or maybe even any of these Power Ranger stuff. If any of these Power Ranger shirts kind of are interested in you, or eventually you already go on and just find them on just Temu, let me know anything you're to go on and find that interests you. The Stano shirt, like, because a lot of this stuff I have to go on and I have to really know what I'm looking for instead of me just searching for it and expecting for me to uh, just look for a specific thing and have that description match that certain thing. So I have to just look for long enough and be like, okay, like I'm looking through this random pattern shirt search, and I found that this item matches this movie. Great. And the description of it says nothing about what the movie is whatsoever. Like I found RoboCop shirts, or I found armored shirts, right? Like, and it has nothing to do with the movie or show connection whatsoever. And I'm like, wow, I just lucked out there. I just looked long enough to just find whatever this is. Uh, like this just is like just compression shirt. And there's a lot of compression shirts that do have like a costume thing to it. So Monster Squad. It's just a movie shirt that I randomly found. Uh, this is to not exactly be the thing that I was searching for, because I just clicked on a thing for like horror masks that were like Jason and Michael Myers and whatever, and eventually this just came up. I don't know why. The Mask. I had gone on and seen the Mask movies, and eventually I will probably want this in my collection. But also, it's a thing that I can use for thumbnails to eventually adjust those, because it's really just hopefully to be a thing where if I have this, maybe it'll just look better in the thumbnails, and maybe I'll figure something out for those to just kind of have a cool, interesting thing with this mask and go by that. So, but also just I like to obtain just the mask. That looks cool. Donkey Kong, I just randomly found that while I was searching today, this thing here. So I'm like, cool. Like, uh, maybe at some point I'll get a lot more video game stuff. But also, I think Donkey Kong is gonna go on and have a spin-off through the Mario movies, so that's gonna be cool. So yeah, so this next thing here is be Doctor Strange shirt, of course. Like feasibly, nowhere on here it just says anything about Doctor Strange whatsoever. You could probably also go through print shirts, and also maybe you'll find like a shirt that is to be like this. If you put the word print in print shirt, you might find something. Uh, I wanted to find something like this specifically because it actually has the red cape on it. I have the other uh, Doctor Strange shirt that doesn't have the cape, so I could look for something like this just for the cape part of it and be like, "Cool, I have this now." Um, there's a number of Doctor Strange movies out there, plus also there is, I'm sure, more to come with Doctor Strange. So at some point, it'll be neat to just have a shirt like this, just for the cape part of it, and it'll be nice. Like I've seen, like Miles Morales shirts that tie into the anime movies, but then also is just be a generic Miles Morales shirt. I have a Miles Morales shirt, but it's not as detailed as some of these other ones. So eventually, I might look into that. Um, Other superhero bits of stuff will be again anything after Infinity War, anything that happened, even stuff early that I could just find will be really cool to eventually obtain through Temu, because there is quite a bit of stuff that I just randomly find consistently throughout here, and like, okay, cool, this ties to this superhero film, or this ties to this movie that is very obscure and cool. Uh, I would find like a shirt for Darkman. I'm like, cool. Like I liked that movie. Like maybe I'll go on and I'll have a Darkman shirt because I like that film. I really did. We had the Hocus Pocus book. For me, I was just godsmacked when I found this. I'm like, oh my god, like the Hocus Pocus book. Um, I don't know really how big this book is, but feasibly, uh, like this will be a thing that once like I kind of have found everything else, maybe I'll look into this more. Um, but yeah, it looks like the Hocus Pocus book. I don't know. I'll have to kind of screenshot it and look how accurate it really is to see if this is the exact book. I also found the Book of the Dead and Book of the Living from the Mummy. I'd found those in here also. There is also the Necronomicon from Evil Dead. I'd found this in here. I'd found a lot of props and a lot of things from a lot of movies on Temu. So I'm excited to be thumbing through Temu every day to just find eventually also just some movie props because just getting something like this is like, okay, this is going to start um, to continue on my collection of movie memorabilia. But I eventually hope to eventually find some more things that I can just kind of keep adding to this collection and being able to just get this really fun stuff that connect to these movies and maybe in the future go on and maybe even review Hocus Pocus because I haven't done that in uh, in this channel yet. Um, but yeah, so I eventually going to go on and try to get something from the later Power Ranger movie because I'm trying to find like there are cheap costumes of the movie that are still on eBay somewhere. But I'm trying to find something from this specific movie that is be kind of more costume related than just a shirt. But if anything, last ditch effort, then maybe I'll just get a shirt and just wear that and just connect it with that film because I do. There's parts of that movie that I do like, I do enjoy. So I may just go on and just get a shirt from it just for the connectional purpose of it. Zelda. I think at some point there's going to be some kind of Zelda movie. There's a load of Zelda games that I've seen played through YouTube. I like Zelda. Zelda's a cool bit of content. There's nothing wrong with it. And again, I hope that someday eventually there'll be a justification for a Zelda movie. There's been like Mario Brothers and all that kinds of stuff. Why isn't there a Zelda movie at this point? It only makes the most sense to just do that. Stuff that you may not go on and get to see, like I have seen like a SpongeBob SquarePants onesie that look kind of cool. At some point, maybe I'll go and I'll just eventually get that at some point. Because eventually I may go on and start reviewing SpongeBob SquarePants. That might be a fun bit of content to review at some point. Um, Also, like I had watched as a young lad some SpongeBob SquarePants, so it's not like I'm to have gone into that like very brand new and what have you. But uh, it also depends on if people really want me to go on and check any of that out. Regardless, it might just be a fun bit of content to just check out and eventually get an item that connects me to that. Going on here, we have this kind of cut off, almost tank top like Power Ranger thing here. I like the Yellow Ranger. It doesn't matter if it's a women's bit of clothing. I don't care. There was also like a samurai hoodie that is to be a women's thing. I'm like, I don't care if feasibly this is a thing that has Power Ranger Samurai on it, and like I can get this, then I don't care if it's a women's piece of clothing. I don't care. Like if it looks like it fits me well, it doesn't matter what it is. Like to me, it also connects me with any of these things. It goes on and could be well used as a thumbnail, and it doesn't matter what kind of piece of clothing it is. As long as it fits me, I don't care. So that said, I also found this pattern shirt that looked like Power Rangers, and that was kind of cool. I go on and I find when randomly just kind of searching through just pattern shirts, eventually I'll find all kinds of just interesting patterns that are kind of interesting. I go on and I also like all found these like Power Ranger blankets, and there's a whole blanket with like either heads or Megazords. There's also like a whole blanket that has all the morphers on it, which honestly, like the morpher blanket, I really wanted to probably get because that looked really cool. It has all the blankets of all, or has all the morphers all in one blanket. That looked really cool. I eventually want to go on and probably obtain that, just because I like all the morphers. As well as also like it was a holy grail of mine to a holy grail items was to get morphers, so that just kind of looked fun. Uh, Again, Chucky, I've gone on to already explain that. This is more of a one in a men's size, so there's that for you. Ninja Storm, that's another Power Ranger season. Like the only reason I'm showing this is because you get to see that this is a shirt that actually just has a Power Ranger helmet. There's a lot of them where there's a number of seasons where they just have the helmet on a shirt, and so that kind of looks intriguing, and cool to me. If you guys would be wrestling fans, this is to be Mankind's mask on Temu for some reason. I don't know why, but eventually at some point I'll probably start getting on Temu probably some wrestling stuff. Maybe this might be a thing to add to my collection. I like Mick Foley. I like Mankind. I might as well go on and get this helmet thing right because it looks like Mankind. Might as well. Uh, like I have a number of things that are to just be emailed to myself that has just a list of stuff that I have just kind of just to delete through and kind of just wait to eventually get on here. So this is all very planned out and all very orchestrated to try to get the right things through this app. So I've kind of very well orchestrated and planned it all to eventually go on and get. When eventually I farm through farmlands, and I also make my way through even getting credit and stuff like that to go and get a collection of these items whenever I have to go on and not credit card credit. I'm just saying credit from Temu. That's my goal. So, Homelander. This shirt was pretty wild because I was like, wait a minute, there's a Homelander shirt. That was cool. Every once in a while, I'll go on and I'll see these like kind of these superhero or even anime shirts. I'm like, man, I want to eventually collect this because I had seen a good chunk of the Boys show as well as also uh, like this would be really cool to put on those thumbnails because eventually I had a plan of something to put for that, but if I can even get this, then that'll even be way better to eventually have something actually that looked like the character Homelander. Whoa. Plus, also, I liked The Boys. It was really fun. I liked that show. Uh, Resident Evil. This is to go on and be like I've seen a number of the Resident Evil films. Resident Evil eventually is a show. It's a number of other things. I'm sure there'll be more Resident Evil stuff in the future. It seems that there's going to be a title that's going to be thrusted out there at some point for Resident Evil I'm kind of interested in this hoodie, honestly. It looks really cool. It actually looks like it's matching up with some of the more popular Resident Evil images and stuff. So this could be interesting to get a Resident Evil hoodie. Spider-Man 2099. Um, this again is like a it's a character that is to eventually be used in the Miles animated thing, so that's my real true interest. At some point, they just had like the more they had the red design, but with a black background. Now they finally have a blue one here, so I'm kind of really interested in that. Um, Here is the samurai hoodie that I was telling you about earlier. It's a woman's thing. I don't care. If anything, yeah, Power Ranger Samurai. That seems to oddly be one of the more popular seasons on uh, this bit of channel that I've gone on to review that first season, and it went really well. So I want to go on and I want to show that I do like Power Ranger Samurai. I really actually liked that first season, and there are some really standout characters that I really beloved and really did like. So it's not just me going on and thinking like, oh yeah, well if I just buy this shirt or get this shirt, then it'll just showcase the sham of me not being a fan. No, like I'm trying to get all these things because I really like them. I really am to not just have it all being like a muhaha thing to have it fake of my fandom and any of this stuff. No, like I'm really putting forth the effort to get all these things. Um, Eventually, at some point, like I'm not thinking that I'm gonna get them all tomorrow, uh, or in a week from now or whatever. But like I'm planning for the future to get them all, and this is one of those. This honestly looked really interesting. I started to see a bunch of like monster hoodies, and like this is like a mummy pattern, and I thought that that was really cool. I've gone on to see ones where it's like a mummy pattern, or like it's like a skeleton, a corpse, like a zombie kind of hoodie. And the further and further I started to see these, they looked really cool. I don't know what I'm eventually going to get by the time that I actually obtain something like this. So if anybody is to ever gone on and obtain a hoodie like this, kind of let me know in the comments below the details of this kind of thing, because this could honestly look like a 3D printed hoodie that eventually may not look exactly like the picture. So I don't know exactly what I'm getting, or even if I'm going to go on and actually be getting a hoodie thing. I had gone on and seen somebody online who bought a hoodie like this somewhere other than Temu, and eventually they found out that they were just getting a shirt that was just a shirt, not a hoodie at all, and it was just a pattern that just got slapped onto a long sleeve shirt, and it wasn't at all looking anywhere like this. So hopefully, if this thing was to have gotten, hopefully it actually looks like the picture, and then I'd be like, cool, because I honestly want to get something that looks like a mummy, because I'm really trying to get something that is to have like a mummy kind of design, just because of my enjoyment of characters like Moon Knight, but also because eventually I just want to have that kind of like decor and mummy thing, and there's a lot of also just mummy films that are really interesting, so I can kind of have that hoodie. Uh, but still, like I think that this to me just looks really cool, so hope I can get it in the future. Another Star Wars thing, another Star Wars hoodie. Luke Skywalker's thing that he would go on and he'd be as a rebel, and he's in the the X-wing. I always get those confused. I think it's the X-wing. Yeah, this looked really cool to me when I immediately saw it. There seems to eventually be a number of Star Wars hoodies that I go on and I find here. There's a Mandalorian one. There also is eventually like a Han Solo one, Darth Vader. I'm trying to find some of those because I do like Star Wars. I'm not just a Trekkie guy, so those are really cool. This of course is the Power Ranger Zeo. Yeah, it has the Japan lettering off. I don't care. I don't care if it just goes on and connects to the Sentai. I don't care. It looks like a cool design. It connects to a show I love, and whether it has Japanese lettering or American, I don't care. It's a cool shirt. I like it. It matches with a character, Adam, of which that I enjoy, I like, and what have you. So I may get a shirt like this, or maybe in the future I may get to find a Power Ranger Zeo shirt that actually looks really cool. I've seen a couple of different Power Ranger Zeo shirts uh, within Temu, so I might obtain any number of those. I already have the one that I've mentioned about the Gold Ranger one, so may find some in the future. This is Common Writer or this is Master Writer. This is specifically to the one to where it ties into the Power Rangers I Need a Friend thing. I'm to go on and eventually just look for Common Writer or Master Writer stuff, and eventually there are some available for Temu. There's going to be one that actually does have like neck down and actual cosplay of Kamen Rider, which won't be exactly tied to this one, but I thought that looked cool. There was one brief time where there actually was a Kamen Rider build costume shirt on here, and eventually it got sold out. I'm like, well, of course, because this is Kamen Rider build, one of the more popular Kamen Rider things, so I knew that that was going to get sold out. So I just kind of left it off to the side, thinking like maybe one day, but like Kamen Rider build was like, yeah, that was going to get quickly sold out. So every once in a while, I from time to time keep searching to see what Kamen Rider stuff they have, just to see what kind of costumes or what kind of shirts they have, just so that way go on and maybe eventually figure out a day where I'm going to go on and get some Kamen Rider stuff. Because eventually I want to get into, uh, hopefully someday talking about Kamen Rider more. Um, I really do. Next up, we have Hero Academia. This shirt here. So, if you were to look at any of my Hero Academia uh, thumbnails, you're gonna find that I have a thing that looks like this, but that honestly is to be for most of the time very Photoshop. So I honestly wanted to go on and find a legitimate thing of My Hero Academia and replace that and swap it in. Um, and probably even tweak and change the thumbnail of that altogether. Because eventually My Hero Academia on this channel went nowhere, but I still don't think it will anyways. But I still have a vicious love for that show, and there is going to be, hopefully in the future, a lot of anime stuff that I can probably find on Temu and show my love for them, because I do love a lot of anime stuff. Um, I do have like One Punch Man shirts, which of course uh, I do have some other kind of anime cartoonish stuff eventually. There's one thing that is sad that I didn't really have much on here, I think, is like cartoon stuff, like Hanna-Barbera things. Um, there was to go on and be Nickelodeon stuff that was like Legend of the Hidden Temple. There was a lot of stuff that was really cool on here that I was like, wow. Um, there was things I just kind of randomly found at a time that looked really cool through here, so I just wanted to go through and talk about it. Uh, Nightwing, this is a shirt here that like it looks really cool. There's a blue one, and then there's also the red one. If you guys remember New 52, eventually they changed the color to him being in red. They also have a red one in here, so eventually I want to find the red version of it and get that, because all I have is the blue version. I want the red one. If you guys have seen some of the Titans thumbnails, you will see the Nightwing shirt I have. But also, I wanted to eventually get like a Nightwing thing that looked like the blue, like kind of go all the way through the shirt, and it has the real cool looking design. That's why I was kind of looking at this. This is to be a Beast Boys costume. For some reason, I randomly found this while finding the Robin and Nightwing stuff. So I did like Beast Boy in some parts of early Teen Titans, but everywhere else really did not like Beast Boy. Really, no. Um, but that's not the character's fault. It's just whoever wrote for him. Just really, I think had a disdain. So I think a Beast Boy costume would be cool, but I don't think I'm going to be necessarily be wearing it that often. Um, so it was some just random thing that I found. I was like, okay, cool. This is another Zeo shirt that I found. This is a Killer Clowns in Space mask that I found. Fantastic Four. This, uh, I was trying to hunt down a lot of the newer superhero stuff like Superman. I was trying to find a shirt that matched the movie. I found some stuff on Temu where it's just a logo and it's a blue shirt. That looked close enough. Uh, at some point, there were also other shirts where it was the right blue, and I was like, cool, I could probably get that. There was also like a Superman Returns logo shirt that I found on here that I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I can, eventually, when I decide to do Superman Returns, I'll have that shirt. You get what I'm going with here. Fantastic Four, I had gone on to already do this review, and I did legit have the mask that's on the thumbnail, the Ben Grimm mask. I had that. It was just that like when it came down to the actual shirt, like I just had to go on and just hodgepodgingly have like turtlenecks and a muscle suit, and that's what all came out of that. So and I just had to slap a logo that I just. So I'm being very brutally honest about like the behind the scenes of all this, and eventually I did want to go on, and regardless of how I felt about that movie, like I feel that at some point there's going to be some better Fantastic Four thing down the road that I probably may need this hoodie for. So uh, plus, also that movie was to be so well received by seemingly everybody that I'm like, well, that movie's just gonna continue on being a thing, so I might as well just get this thing at some point. There was actually shirts and a number of other things of this, so I could probably find it at a much more cheaper thing. But I have this consistently more pop up than anything else. That's why it's here. I've been trying to find a Batman animated series shirt for a long time, and something that's a pretty good price. This very much yo-yos at a different kind of price of things, so I'm looking at that. And here's some more Power Ranger shirts. I already have this one. The design looks really cool on the shirt. The coloring looks good. It's great. It's one thing where I was like, man, this is such a good shirt. I really loved it. And immediately when I found it, I'm like, I need to get this. This was like the first ever shirt that I got from Temu. Um, that was really Power Ranger connected. I feel maybe I'm wrong about that. Uh, but yeah, this was like the first one that started it all for me to start obtaining these shirts. So after I got this one, immediately shortly thereafter, I started getting like uh, the gold Zeo shirt. Then I got the or then I got the in space. Then I got the turbo. Then I started to get a lot of the stuff that was just very early in the season. Eventually, hoping to continue to get stuff in later seasons. I have really absolutely nothing for Lost Galaxy. Absolutely nothing. If anything, I bejokingly wanted to wear a Charlie Brown shirt as a joke, to have that be the thing that I do for Lost Galaxy. Because if you don't know any better, the Yellow Ranger has a Charlie Brown design on her shirt, and even the actress was to go on and make the joke of the fact, or probably just be upset with the fact that she just looked like Charlie Brown. So for me, I would just be like, hey man, like you're a Power Ranger, plus also you're on a season that is to be early enough that people probably do care about. And also a lot of people seem to have liked Magnum Defender for some reason. Magna Defender, I have no idea what that actual name is. I am not very familiar with Lost Galaxy really whatsoever. Besides some episodes I piecemealed from that season. Eventually, I'll check it out when eventually I continue to comb through Power Rangers. But if anything, I found a Lost Galaxy shirt while looking through a lot of Sentai stuff. Um, Swamp Thing. This was really cool. I was really excited to see this because feasibly, I was looking for a lot more rare comic book characters. I don't see a lot of Swamp Thing shirts. I don't see a lot of Man Thing shirts. And eventually, I saw, oh yeah, there's the SpongeBob onesie that I was gonna find and eventually just look into because I'm a goofy and weird guy. I try to find a lot of clothing that's really fun and kind of weird to so that way I can make jokes about it. So that way I can have a lot of fun with it. That's all I'm trying to do here. Nothing more than that. So yeah, so Swamp Thing. I like characters that are very more obscure, and when seeing a Swamp Thing shirt, I was giddy about that. I saw this shirt, or this hoodie, and I was like, oh my god, it actually looks like the costume. And even the hoodie, the back of it looks like the actual helmet. So I don't care what Power Ranger color costume I eventually wear. I am fine to even wear pink. I am a straight dude or whatever. I don't give a flying F what color I'm wearing. As long as it's connected to the show, the movie, the thing. And then also, it's funny to wear the pink Mighty Morphin stuff. It really is. It's funny. It really is. There's a lot of comedy where you have the robot chicken thing during Halloween, and the kid is wearing the pink Mighty Morphin costume. So after that has gone on to happen, everybody in the brother, as far as a guy, is also wearing the pink Mighty Morphin costume because as a guy, it's funny. It really is. So plus also again, I don't care what color it is, I'll freaking wear it. If anybody has some Power Ranger shit to throw away, give it to me as long as I could probably fit into it. I'll wear it. I don't care. Um, I go by right now size extra large. I hope to get down maybe further than that, but uh, like after this thing is done, I hope to turn around and get some exercise done. Um, but yeah, uh, whatever it, what whatever is to be for Power Rangers, I will probably hopefully get a thing probably for at some point. This is a blockbuster shirt. Yeah, blockbuster. I love that. Spider-Man Noir mask. I'm also looking into masks on here. If anything is to be connected to superhero stuff, I know I probably won't go on and have like a full cosplay of Spider-Man Noir, but it's kind of cool to have this mask. Because I found out that Nicolas Cage is doing the Spider-Man Noir show. I am to go on and, of course, like that character from the video games, as well as also the movie adaptation. So I had read some of the Spider-Man Noir books, kind of racy and kind of but I don't care. I'll go on and I'll get this mask anyways because I like the design of it. I like the way of which that it's put together, and also it's another cool thing to wear. I had gone to also see the Spider Monkey one from the later Spider-Man movies, and that was cool to see that on here. But eventually, at some point, that fades away over time. There's a lot of also just other superhero mask stuff that I've seen, and I'm like, I want to get that eventually. Ultron, this mask here looks really cool. Regardless of its price, maybe eventually I'll go on and I'll find a way to get this regardless of its price. Well, I don't necessarily know if I really need an Ultron mask, but eventually when I go on and I will get around to collecting a lot of other superhero things, God, superhero masks and things. Maybe eventually I'll get this when I'm to go on and find nothing else to try to obtain. Here's the Meteor Man shirt. Man, that looks great. I'm also really loving the Christmas sweaters that are going on right now. Temu is having some really cool Christmas sweater designs. I'm really liking the Power Ranger ones. But I'm also starting to see stuff like this where it connects to movies that I absolutely love. Like, as a kid, I had seen Ghostbusters hundreds of times. still enjoy the film. If anything, I don't quite like how the sleeves are to match the shirt design. I don't really like that at all. But uh, really, for me, I like the front design. So maybe I can even just cut the sleeves and just have it just be like an ugly sweater, but it be just without the sleeves. I don't care. Like whatever. Like I am not freaking picky, folks. Not at all. But anyways, so but I just like to wear something cool. I just do. Because I want to try to pretend that I'm a cool guy. I'm not cool. I've never been cool. Never have I ever been cool. I've tried so desperately to be cool, and I will never get there. But if anyways, here's one Power Ranger sweater shirt, but like there's other ones that have a much more uh kind of like it connects to one singular character, and those look really cool. I like those. Those are pretty sweet. There's also some ones where they went on to do like Star Trek ones where it's like a Christmas sweater, but it was like a onesie of some Star Trek season. And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I can get a number of those because those were to go on and kind of connect with certain Star Trek seasons that I didn't have. Like, they were beyond like the next gen stuff. So I was like, cool, maybe I'll look into those and maybe I'll obtain those at some point in the future. This is a Looney Tunes jersey. I had gone on and obtained like a Mighty Ducks jersey. So eventually, after that, I was like, okay, what other kind of jersey stuff could I get? Like, there's the Happy Gilmore jersey. I don't know about that, but there's the Looney Tunes jersey. I was like, so after getting the Mighty Ducks one, I was like, okay, the Looney Tunes one is the next thing. I want to either get the Taz one or the Bill Murray one, or maybe like Jordan. I don't know about the Bugs one. Like I was much more of a like a Taz guy, or I don't know any of the number of other ones could be fun. Like I think the Lola one is probably the cheapest one, but much more of a Taz guy. I'll hope to eventually get one of these Toon Squad kind of things, so that'll be fun. Here's this Common Rider shirt. There also is to be the Batman print here. The Batman. This logo is kind of removed, but I think that could ultimately just be to avoid some kind of weird suing thing. To not have the logo on there, be like, well, it's not exactly like the shirt. Because I've seen that done on Amazon stuff where they kind of blur out certain pieces of the shirt. So either way, you know what? If I get this shirt and the logo is removed, I don't care. I can just take Photoshop, slap the logo on, and be done with it. But either way, I'm thinking that this is to be photoshopped, edited on purpose. But either way, if it's not, then again, I can adjust it and it'll be fine and it'll look like it and I'll be fine with it because I'm just looking for an easy way to obtain the Batman shirt because I've gone on to obtain already the Michael Keaton from the Flash, which eventually gets used for all the other just Michael Keaton things. I have the Dark Knight ones, or I have a Dark Knight one. I have Batman Begins. I have nothing for like Batman Forever. I'm using Riddler stuff and whatever for that. For Batman and Robin, I have the Mister Freeze mask from the that looks like Arnold, whatever. Uh, so yeah, so I have certain things from most of those films. Some things are on another. So eventually, I want to get every kind of Batman thing from all these movies just so we can have. And the Batman, I think, is the only one that kind of has. Regardless how I feel about the Batman, I'll still get a shirt from it because it'll be a free thing that I could also just get, and so that'd be cool. There is even stuff of shirts that I get that I'll get things even though I hate it. I don't care. Like I have a Captain Marvel shirt. I don't care. I hated the Marvels. I didn't like Captain Marvel all that much, but um, I am to go on and at least obtain a shirt of it because feasibly it'll be a thing for a thumbnail, and it was free, so I got it. I don't care. I'll have it. It doesn't matter. Um, Next up, Captain America from the latest movie, the Falcon one. In all honesty, I can use a shirt like this for either Falcon and Winter Soldier. I could slap that on there, or I could use this for the newer film. I had gone on to put some piecemeal things uh, for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I can definitely go on and have this shirt be in my collection for that. Another Star Trek things in space. McDonald's. McDonald's. I've gone on to have seen the Michael Keaton movie, The Founder. I eventually also have seen a horror movie called Drive Through, which is to have a fast food thing in there. There's probably something that I could use this for. So eventually, maybe I'll go on and obtain that. This shirt is because of Black Adam. Eventually, I have to have used, I think, just a flash thing specifically for this. So if I get this, Black Adam will actually be covered. This is again a mummy scarf. I like mummy stuff. It'll be cool to have that. Meteor Man. This stuff is kind of rehash, all rehash. Yeah, Superman shirt. Yeah, I'm trying to get something from the Superman movie. This is something so that way can have properly something for Megaforce. I don't care for it being a youngster thing. If I fit in it, I fit on it. If I don't, then I don't. I don't care. It's whatever. Um, I actually do wear from time to time some regular clothes. Blazers. I'm trying to find a different color assortment of blazers because there's so many movies that have a different assortment of blazers for a number of characters. Some people have gray blazers. Some people have brown. Some like I'm trying to have a certain assortment of clothes that is to be a catch-all for how regularly they're used in movies. There's a ton of clothes, surprisingly, you'll come to find that are in so many films that I'm like, okay, if I just get this certain kind of clothes, it'll be a catch-all for a number of films. So that's what I'm trying to do. Dread. At one point, there was a costume shirt for this, and feasibly, uh, like that is gone now. I can't like I've checked out Judge Dredd stuff, and all I find is just stuff that's connected to films. So at some point, I'll hopefully go on and find some Dread stuff. There's Muse. From Daredevil Born Again. Woo, yeah. I already have like Daredevil shirts, but maybe I can do something with Muse. Yeah. I don't know why this is kind of here. I've tried to remove it. I don't know how many times now, but it's still there for some reason. I want to get things for a different variety of Hellboy stuff. So I was looking to try to find some more Hellboy things, to try to find different masks or different kind of things. So eventually, that's why that's there. This Christmas thing is to go on and be just. I want to find some fun Christmas sweaters. Other than that, yeah. Hey, look, Miles Morales, just right there. Ben 10. I'm looking for Ben 10 shirts. Yeah, I think other than that, whoops. Uh, Astronaut, time period. Yeah, finding all this stuff. Street Sharks. I want to eventually go on a review Street Sharks at one point. So eventually, I hope to go on and get to obtain the shirt so I can eventually turn around and review Street Sharks on the channel. All this time period stuff, I've already had the astronaut shirt. I have one of those, so that's cool. If you've seen any of my outer space movies, you've probably seen me wear that maybe. I like time period stuff. I've already kind of stated that I like armor, warrior things. So eventually, I hope to get stuff like this. It's gonna be really cool. This stuff was just the prop stuff was just to show that it's there. A lot of the stuff is just kind of copy and paste everything that I've kind of shown in the past. Catwoman shirt from the movie for Batman Returns. I like Michelle Pfeiffer. That'll be a cool thing to just have. Uh, Other than that, yeah, like all this stuff is kind of getting repeating over and over again. Ooh, Stargate. Stargate. If you guys don't know the Stargate movie, yeah. Black Widow. I'm trying to find something for Black Widow. That movie, I have nothing for that. I wanted to try to obtain the Red Guardian costume shirt, but that just seems to elude me this day. I even found that there was like a Taskmaster shirt on Temu, and that went away. So I'm probably gonna go on and end up finding out that I may try to get something of Black Widow. Maybe, I don't know. Regardless of that being a female character, I don't give a rip. Like, I'm just trying to find things that are connecting to that film. Also, it's just kind of funny to just wear all the characters, which I don't really care. I really don't. I'll just wear whatever. I'll just, like, if it looks goofy, I don't care. I'll wear everything. I'll wear it all. Because it's funny and it's interesting. Other than that, yeah, a lot of this stuff is over and over again. Squid Games. Yeah. Eventually, when I watch the show, yeah, eventually this is a cool just thing that I want to eventually get at some point. Hopefully I'll get it. Yeah. So with that said, I think this is just gonna be a video that's gonna come to close because I'm sure I'm just finding whatever is left in here that is just thumbing through a lot of crap. So with that said, thank you for watching this, however long you're gonna want to do so, because eventually I'm sure you probably left very early on if you didn't watch this at all. I'm going to just throw this on here as a video just to check out if people want to, then they can. It's another piece of content that I did to just do differently than all of my normal stuff, but eventually people are like, almost 2 hours for just talking about Temu and whatever. I don't care. Like I just wanted to do this for a bit of fun, and then I'm going to turn around and do a workout for today. So this is something different to just go on and do and talk about. So let me know in the comments below if you have found any cool, interesting stuff on Temu. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.